Welcome back to Don's Life. Welcome to the channel. Thanks for joining today. It is early in the morning. It is minus 22 Celsius. We finally got our snow. Got a hoodie on. Bunny hug up here in Saskatchewan. Got my hat. Got some winter gear because we're taking the GMC Sierra out today. At least we plan to. We're dropping it off for service. Let's go. So when I say we're dropping it off for service, I mean just that. The other day I started it. It wasn't cold like this yet, but I remote started it, seemed to be fine, came out, turned it on, and it was idling rough. So I shut it off, turned it back on, and it was showing a check engine light. It was idling rough, gave all those usual error messages you get when there's some type of electronic issue. So I let it be, drove the Escalade, dropped the kids off where they needed to go, came home, started up, it ran fine. No check engine light. So I scanned it for any codes, and it did find in the pending trouble codes a misfire on cylinder 7 and some other codes that were probably a result of that one. That's just speculation, I don't know for sure. Now, I'm not superstitious, maybe a little stitious, you'll get the reference.
I'm not superstitious, but I am a little stitious.
But I did do a video about preventative maintenance not that long ago, talking about my luck with the vehicle for the almost 3 years that I've had it. And Murphy's Law, of course, something went wrong. So I've been driving the truck now for 4 or 5 days, but in that time period, I booked it in for service. I thought we should be proactive and at least get it checked out. So then yesterday, I did another code scan. So the day before taking it into the dealership, and the number 7 misfire has disappeared. It's cleared on its own. But if you go down the list, there's still some pending codes there, and it says multiple cylinder misfire or something to that effect, all overlaid all on the screen here. So we are headed to the GMC dealer here in Saskatoon, and we're gonna hopefully get them to look at the injectors. Maybe that's the issue. I think if it was something like a collapsed lifter or that type of thing, it would be, you know, obviously not drivable, and we would know. So we're gonna get it there, and then we are gonna see what they say. So I am plugged into the block heater because it is that cold that we need to keep the oil a little bit warmer, or in this case the coolant, and the coolant helps warm the oil. So that's how that works. I am going to remote start it because remote starting sometimes can be an indication if things are bad right off the bat. So we'll remote start it, but then we'll get in and we'll push the button and see if anything comes up. So I just lock it first. Push the button. Crank the heat. Well, looks like we're okay. We should be good enough to drive to the dealership. We'll just let it warm up a bit first. Don't want it to be stolen. All right, Mrs. Don's Life is gonna follow us there because I'd rather we drive home than get a shuttle to take me home. So that's nice of her. What a nice truck. It's always that one spot, and these are new wipers. That's annoying. All right, we are back in the Don's Life garage. Thanks, Mrs. Don's Life, for driving me home. Actually, I drove, but she's since had to go out and come back, and she always gets really nervous parking in here and backing in, which we prefer to back in. That's just our style. But she did a good job. She's just worried with the Corvette here that she might, you know, scuff the bumper or something. But she did a good job, so I'm proud of her. So I'm not one to sit here and twiddle my thumbs and just wait for them to call me. I'm going to do a little bit of research, but I think we should play a bit of a game. Since this video is probably going to have to take place over a day or two, we'll make this the part 1. But what I want you to do is I want you to share in the comments below what you think the dealership is going to tell me when it comes to these two codes. So let me break them down for you, because what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a Google search of the first code, P0307, cylinder 7 misfire. I'll type it in exactly as it shows up in my scanner. And then we're going to write down, and I'll read it to you, the first hit that comes up in Google on what the issue is. And they should be pretty self-explanatory, but like we know, just a diagnostic or a diagnosis doesn't necessarily tell you exactly what the problem is. It could be one thing contributing to another. So I'm hoping that you guys will share what your best guesses are in the comments below. I'll also run the other code, P0300, which is a multiple random cylinder misfire. I'll put it in exactly as it came up in my scanner, like I said, and I'll take the first hit on Google and I'll share that with you guys. But again, I want you to share what you think they're going to come back with when I get the phone call from the dealership. All right, I just printed these out for simplicity, but the first hit with the P0307 code from carparts.com. The P0307 code stands for cylinder 7 misfire detected, which means there is an incomplete combustion happening inside cylinder number 7, causing it to misfire. A bad ignition coil, a faulty injector, and an internal engine problem are possible causes for the P0307 code. So let me know what you think the problem is. Remember, this code disappeared, but we still have some things that could be contributing to that code overall. And maybe they're contributing to the new code, which is the random cylinder misfire. So let's read that code exactly. So way.com, the first hit was P0300. Engine code indicates a misfiring cylinder problem in your vehicle. The misfiring happens when insufficient fuel is burned or when the spark plug gets damaged. In addition, it can damage your car's catalytic converter in extreme conditions. P0300 code denotes random or multiple cylinder misfire detection. So maybe it is an injector issue. Maybe it is a problem with the spark plug. I don't know. That's why they are looking after it over there at GM. So again, put your thoughts in the comments below. Yeah, a lot of you are going to say things like, I never buy GM junk. This is the problem with all of the technology that they put into these engines with DFM, AFM, you know, what have you, or should have bought a diesel. I'm prepared for all those comments. I've heard them, but it wouldn't matter if I owned a Dodge or a Ford or a Toyota. There's going to be hate or comments out there, you guys ribbing me, so whatever, go ahead and do that too. But I'm going to sift through that stuff, and I'm curious what your best educated guesses are on what the problem is. So I'm going to end the video here. And stick around, hit the subscribe button if you want to see what the follow-up is. Again, I don't know. This is being filmed in real time, and I'm going to upload it hopefully before they call me. So I won't have that knowledge until I go into the second video. But yeah, so stick around. So if you like today's video and you want to follow the journey, hit that like button. Please consider subscribing. Oh yeah, I have a prototype sport bar coming for the truck too. Talk to you later.